Shopping. Shopping is something that we do every day in some form or fashion. Increases in technology have made this process even easier and more accessible than ever before. And it has never been easier than with the invention of a little device we call the debit card. Today, I'm going to tell you how you can protect yourself while using a debit card and also be able to use it to the fullest. After working as a debit card fraud analyst at the Bank of Winfield for more than 6 years, I have found that working with debit cards and having them and using them is a little bit of a blessing and a curse. Debit cards are a wonderful thing, but they have weaknesses that you can help prevent if you use caution while you shop. Debit cards are a direct line to your accounts. And a lot of people ask, what exactly is a debit card? Simply put, a debit card is an electronic device that takes money directly from your account that you use to make payments for goods and services. A lot of people ask if a debit card is the same as a credit card. Simple answer, no, it is not. They don't work in the same way and they are not the same thing. If they're not, what's the difference? With a debit card, it's like paying cash money. If I make a purchase with a debit card, it is like me handing them a dollar bill or a 20 or a piece of paper money. That's cash. I'm making that payment right now. If I make a payment with a credit card, the company that holds that card is going to pay the money up front. And then at a later date, I'm going to come back and pay that company back for paying for the purchase for me. Simple. Debit card, you make the payment now. Credit card, you pay it later. They can be very good things. But like everything else, they got pros and they've got cons. The advantages of having a debit card: you have access to your accounts anywhere and at any time. If you are 500 miles away from your home, you can go to an ATM, you can stick your card into that machine and you can pull it out and you can withdraw cash, you can check your balance, and you can do as much of that as you want up to the limits that your financial institution places on those cards. Another advantage, you don't have to carry a lot of cash with you. If you have a lot of cash and you have it in your purse or in your wallet, you go to a mall somewhere and you're shopping, all of a sudden somebody comes running by and grabs your purse off of your shoulder or bumps into you and snatches your wallet out of your pocket. Well, if you had cash in there, that cash is gone. You can't get it back. But if you've got a debit card, all you have to do is pick up the phone and call your bank or call your card processor, and you can tell them to stop that card, and they can instantly close it and no funds will be taken out, and you don't have to worry about recouping that loss. Another way is you can make payments anywhere. You can make a payment for something with a debit card over the telephone. You can make a payment for something with a debit card over the internet. You can make a payment face-to-face if they have the processing capability. I mean, it's simple. It's uncomplicated and it's easy. But you got disadvantages. One of the biggest disadvantages is there's a high potential for fraud with debit cards due to things like cybercrime and skimming. Fraudulent transactions are very hard to dispute for debit cards. Not only do they provide a major headache for you as the customer by making you have to get on the telephone for hours talking to the different companies, your bank included, you have to sign endless paperwork. It's a headache for the financial institution that holds your card because we have to dispute that charge. We have to file a lot of paperwork on our end. If your card's lost or stolen, yeah, we can close it right then. But what if you can't get to a phone? What if your cell phone was in your purse when it was stolen? From the time it takes you to realize that your card is missing until you get to your payment processor to place a hold on that card, they could have already taken as much money out of your account as that debit card limit will allow. So they could get to it right then. And a lot of people ask, how prevalent is the fraud for the debit cards? Well, according to an article by Teresa Murray of the Cleveland, Ohio Sun News, and I quote, nearly 1.4% of consumers will be hit with debit card fraud per year, unquote. And that number is rising daily. And cybercrime and skimming are some of the most prevalent forms of this fraud. And Cynthia Jardin, in her article in the Alexandria Town Talk, said, and I quote, "Cybercrime. It wasn't too long ago that phrase seemed like something out of a science fiction movie. Now it's an illegal industry that has touched or will touch nearly everyone," unquote. You can't be too careful with debit cards because as technology increases, so does the opportunity for crooks. What can you do to protect yourself, you ask? Well, several things. First off, when you're shopping online, use caution. The SWACHA president, which is a payment processing center for electronic payments, his name is Dennis Simmons, he said in his quarterly newsletter to different banks, and I quote, "Look for web addresses online with HTTPS or SHTTP, which means the site has taken extra measures to secure your information," unquote. That's just a good thing. Never write your PIN on your card. Safeguard it. Don't give it out to anybody. When going to an ATM, always be aware of your surroundings. Look at the terminals and make sure they don't look tampered with. Don't use an ATM in a secluded spot. FIS Global's spokesperson Brian Mills said, "Look to see if anything's out of the ordinary. If it looks bad, it usually is. Leave it alone." According to our bank policy, we discourage our customers from using them at drive-thrus or anywhere the card can be taken out of their site. Are these things a guarantee? Nope, they're not. These things may not totally keep you from becoming the victim of a fraud on your debit card, but they can keep that victimization at a minimum. Like I said earlier, they're wonderful things, but they have weaknesses that you can prevent by using caution. If you follow these steps, you can end up saving yourself a lot of worry, a lot of fuss, and a lot of time. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.